You are watching KVU 25 News Now at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Adam Seibel. The Victoria Police are investigating a body found. They found it this weekend. It was around 1:45 Saturday morning that VPD officers responded to the 1100 block of Ball Airport Road in regards to a possible deceased body. Upon arrival, those officers did find a deceased man. As of right now, no details on that body that was found, and they tell us that this is an ongoing death investigation. A deadly plane crash in Houston killed one person on board. Authorities say a crop duster aircraft hit a power line last night. Police say 49-year-old pilot Sherrod Coleman was pronounced dead at the scene, and the crash caused significant damage as well as some power outages, and it's unclear what caused that crash. And a small plane with 3 people on board crashed through the roof of a house in Georgetown today. The incident happened shortly before noon. Authorities say the plane was en route from Kerrville to Georgetown when it experienced engine failure and crashed into an unoccupied 2-story duplex. Witnesses in the neighborhood rushed into the home and opened the attic stairs. They say the passengers were hurt but were able to walk away from the wreckage. All 3 passengers were released from the hospital this afternoon. The FAA and the National Transportation Safety Board are launching an investigation into what caused that crash. There will be a VISD special called board meeting this Tuesday, July 25th, in the search for the District 2 trustee. The meeting will be at 5:30 p.m. at the VISD Administration Building, 102 Prophet Drive. There will be 4 District 2 applicant interviews: Mr. Emmett Alvarez, Ms. Bridget Marshall, Mr. Andrew Rokovich, and Mr. Adolph Robles. For any questions, you can call 361-788-9202. The Victoria Dog Park and the Duck Pond is nearing completion after it's been under construction. The dog park is 80% complete and should open next month in August. The city is still working to get 5 items finished, including water lines, canopy, parking lots, mulch, and fencing. The duck pond should open in October. It's 90% complete, but workers are still finishing up the gazebo, pier, and parking lots. 5 migrants from Colombia and Peru, including 1 minor, were found alive after they were abandoned by their guide this week in a mountain pass between the U.S.-Mexico border. The Mexican International Migration Institute stated in a press release today the migrants were found by a rescue team after a 15-hour-long operation in La Murosa Mountain Pass, located between Tijuana and Mexicali, the 2 cities in the Mexican state of Baja California, along the border with California. The group was found after one of them contacted Mexican authorities over the phone and reported they had been abandoned by their guide. The migrant also said they didn't have water or food and that a couple was traveling along with their 4-year-old child who had signs of dehydration. The rescue operation ended on Wednesday and the migrants were transferred to a shelter in Tijuana. Birmingham police are looking for a gunman who shot 4 people at a nightclub early this morning. Police say there was an argument at the club and someone opened fire on a group of people. When police got there, they found 1 man who had been shot and 3 others who were shot went to via a private vehicle to a hospital. 1 person is reported to have life-threatening injuries. All right, it's time to talk weather on this Sunday night. Howie, I almost forgot what rain felt like, but if anyone forgot like me, we were sure reminded of that today.
No, for real, Adam, we went a long time without it, and then boom, it hit us all in a big wave. But yeah, we could use some more of that. We'll talk about that in a moment. But here, the Rodriguez family sent this nice shot of Northwest Victoria, a sunset this evening. Beautiful, beautiful shot here from the Rodriguez family. Thank you very much for sending in that great, great footage. Now let's take a look at what's going on. Okay, hey. This is almost barren now. We had a nice line of storms. All kinds of variables came together. But most importantly, the high-pressure ridge moved over, from no longer ahead of us, opened the door for all those showers. And we saw some heavy downpour at times, a few spurts earlier on today, really stemming from the morning until the afternoon. Here's what we got, though. Temperature-wise, we're looking at, ooh, doesn't want to move on us? Well, we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit in my full forecast about maybe some more rain, and the heat doesn't want to really leave us. Adam?
All right. Thanks, Howie. Beautiful sunset. I wish I had seen it, but maybe tomorrow. With the extreme heat now spreading east, more than 40 million Americans still suffering under heat alerts across much of the West and parts of the Gulf Coast. But that heat is now taking aim at the plains and Midwest.
Tonight, more than 40 million Americans still sweltering in that record-shattering heat wave. The dangerous heat now taking aim at the plains and Midwest. Here in Palm Springs, California shattering a more than 50-year record after reaching 9 consecutive days of 115 degrees or higher.
It was 120?
Yeah.
And it felt like somebody just lit a match in the front of us. Just like, the heat was just like overbearing.
Businesses are now struggling in the soaring temperatures. Joy Brown Meredith is the president of Main Street Palm Springs. You guys say you're seeing a double whammy here.
It is really a double whammy because not only do we have less business, but our costs like electricity is higher.
And in Houston, some residents are also trying to keep up with the rising cost of energy bills. 70-year-old Maria Rodriguez says she has stopped running her air conditioning. It has just gotten too expensive.
Right now I'm not using because if I use it, it's going to be too high.
At times, she says, going without some food just to keep up with the costs.
Well, what I'm doing is try to buy less groceries and try to save my money to pay the bill.
And so many people still struggling. At least in Palm Springs, the temperatures are finally dropping. We're now seeing people eat outside, and that heat is now moving to the northeast, to the plains and the Midwest. Zoreen Shaw, ABC News, Palm Springs.
Grab your cell phone and scan this QR code. This is our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. Watch us anytime, anywhere, and get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls. You can also learn about ongoing contests right there on the app. You can also submit news tips, photos, and cool videos like that one we saw with Howie in that beautiful sunset. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up, disturbing video of a police officer ordering a dog to attack an unarmed man after he had surrendered to authorities.
All right, we were breezy earlier. We were also rainy. We'll talk more about it coming up in just a little while.
Five people were shot, one of them fatally. She was a 21-year-old woman who was pregnant. This happened in Houston this weekend. Police say 2 suspects have been detained, and they're working to figure out if there are more.
I just want people to know that autumn
was like an angel on earth.
A family in mourning today telling us 21-year-old Autumn Valiant is the one who was killed when police say a fight broke out at Margaret Jenkins Park in Sunnyside just after 1 o'clock this morning.
We were out here celebrating a friend's birthday party.
Ebony Valiant, Autumn's mom, says she knew most of the people that were there when the shooting happened and considered them friends. She says her and her daughter were about to leave when the fight broke out and the guns were pulled. Police say ShotSpotter technology reported 36 shots were fired. One of them, her mom says, hit Autumn in the head.
My daughter came pulling me, telling me, Mama, let's get away. And I'm like, come on. And I looked back, my baby was down on the ground, gone.
Her family tells us Autumn, who was 5 months pregnant, was so excited to be a mom and had a goal of becoming a teacher one day.
She's a very sweet girl. She didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve it. And for the ones that did it, we seeking justice. I'm destroyed. And I held it so I couldn't hold it no more. I did.
Police say of the 5 people who were shot, they believe 2 of them are suspects who were detained. A family today shocked, heartbroken, and determined to get justice and carry on the legacy of this girl they love.
We're going to do everything in our power to make her proud, make her happy.
A Florida jury awarded $800,000 in damages after a 4-year-old girl was burned by hot chicken nuggets at a local McDonald's. The girl was in the car when she dropped the nugget on her lap, which got lodged between her thigh and her seatbelt. Jurors deliberated for just 2 hours over how much the family should receive. The parents were seeking $15 million for the burns that left their 4-year-old daughter disfigured and scarred. Here's your viewer poll. You can scan that QR code to vote right now. Should that Florida girl burned by those nuggets received more in the lawsuit? Looks like 4% say yes and 96% say no. Thank you for voting, and come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate. Disturbing video of a police officer ordering a dog to attack an unarmed man after he had surrendered to authorities following a high-speed chase in Ohio. Now, this was on the 4th of July, but police have now released the body cam video, and investigation underway. We do warn you this video may be difficult to watch.
An Ohio canine police officer is under investigation tonight after ordering his dog to attack an unarmed suspect who had already surrendered and had his hands in the air. It happened July 4th. Officers tried pulling 23-year-old truck driver Jadarius Rose over for a missing mud flap. Police say Rose refused, starting a chase. At one point, Rose veers to the right, forcing a highway patrolman to the shoulder. In another instance, police dashcam video shows Rose pulling over, and as officers order him out of the rig at gunpoint, he takes off again. Roughly 7 minutes later in the video, officers slow the truck down using spike strips. Rose seen here getting out, complying with commands, his hands up. To the left, you can see Circleville Canine Police Officer Ryan Speakman crossing the grass with his service dog.
Do not release the dog with his hands up.
This Ohio highway patrolman repeatedly warned Speakman against using the dog as Rose has his hands up. Then Speakman releases the dog and commands it to attack Rose as Rose is on his knees.
Get the dog off of him!
Rose taken into custody and given first aid.
Nobody's trying to hurt you. Just let a dog bite me. All you had to do was stop, brother. I did stop. I don't feel
20
safe.
miles ago.
That Ohio highway patrolman later seen talking to colleagues about his command not to use the canine.
Was that not loud enough?
You said it 3-4 multiple times.
You can't send a dog without getting into excessive force issues on somebody with their hands up. And maybe they're not complying, but they're not a safety risk to anybody.
We've reached out multiple times to both the city of Circleville and its police department. The department saying it has no comment as the incident is currently being investigated by the Use of Force Review Board. Alex Brachet, ABC News, Columbus, Ohio.
President Joe Biden will establish a national monument honoring Emmett Till and his mother, according to a White House official. Emmett Till's the black teenager who was tortured and killed in 1955 after being accused of whistling at a white woman in Mississippi. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. You can submit your birthday wishes. Carolina Estrain will read them on 25 News Now Sunrise. And this week we air our military hero. This airs Tuesday at 25 News Now at 10.
The rain's disappearing, but did it go away? We'll talk about it straight ahead. All right, rain chances early in the week. They began today. We might see more. We'll talk about it. Heat indices, those can hit 115 later in the week, maybe even up to 117. So yes, we're getting some few showers, maybe slightly cooler, but still very much on the hot side. All right, 102 degrees today. That is a record-tying temperature from 1928. So yes, another hot one here, but we were cooled off quite rapidly when those showers hit us and cooled off the ground below, which cooled the air above. All right, wind speeds. We were gusting away to 35, 37 miles per hour. We had a line of storms, and I explained it earlier. So if it's raining over here and all of a sudden it gets cooler and it's warmer over here, that disparity, that discrepancy in the temperatures, that could create winds as well. So yeah, we're very gusty, but pretty much now winds coming down to almost nothing. All right, we saw that huge line of storms. We had strong thunderstorms across a good portion of the crossroads today. Those have since fizzled out, but we could still see some showers maybe into tomorrow because high pressure is going to still continue to be backed off a little bit, staying off to the west. So showers can open up again. Later, though, as the week advances, we will see that high eventually move back into the area, and that is going to keep us on the dry side once again. So yeah, early showers, nothing going on now. All right, these levels have come up. That moisture that's moved into the area. We were looking 50s and 60s out west. Now we're rebounding or building back into the 70s and close to 80 through, in some areas close to the water. So with these on the higher side, that could start to stack up those heat indices as long as the temperatures are up as well. But those could get knocked down a little bit with some cloud cover and some more rain. Here's our heat indices at the moment. So look at this, close to 100 near the coast. You get away from the coast where the rain cooled us down pretty significantly today. Yeah, heat indices only in the 70s and the 80s. Some of our coolest temperatures in quite some time. Again, the rain cooled us down pretty rapidly today. Here's a look ahead with our heat indices. I think by the end of the week, though, we got storms moving in, but eventually high pressure is going to start covering us up later on in the week. That could start shooting these heat indices up 115, 116, 117 degrees and counting. So right now, high pressure out there east of Florida, storms out there in the Gulf, high pressure to the west and far enough to the west, allowing for this storm activity and this moisture to move in and that boundary, and then the sun destabilizing us today. Yeah, we saw those showers. The window might be open again tomorrow for more of this moisture to move in and bring us some more showers, especially with destabilization as the sun heats us up during the heat of the day hours. All right, here's our future tracker for our dust. Here's what we got. Now this dust, this moves into the area. That will slow down storm activity as well. And the good news, yeah, if it's out in the open ocean, slows down some of that, those storms, those hurricanes for that matter. Here's a rain forecast. 89 for the water, seas just 2 feet. That'll keep our bays on the smooth side. So Don, again, starting the weekend, and again, just staying out there in the open ocean. Now, we had a storm that was looking to really generate some power or some good development. I don't want to scare you with some power here, but it's running some higher upper level winds, but still it's got a 40% chance in the next 2 days or 7 days to start to strengthen further. And if you're in the Lesser Antilles, start watching closely. This evening will be in the 80s. Overnight dropping down to 78, 30% chance of some showers overnight. And then for tomorrow, 99 heat index. Oh, not bad, just 106. Yeah, coming down a little bit. But looking ahead, we got a few days with rain. I got to 20%, but I had a 30 or 40% today, and we really got pounded by some showers. Now, later on in the week, I have rain chances, but the high can move in as well, and that might start to change things up with heat and heat indices. For more weather, news, and sports, you got our app. That's at crossroadstay.com. That is free with any Android and iPhone. All right, let's get to sports with Zach.
Howie, thank you. The Generals back home where they cannot fail. I'll have that coming up in sports. The Generals back in town over at Riverside Stadium where they have won 11 in a row, trying to make that a dozen. Cody Gibbs on the mound for the home team, pitching well, but needing a little bit of run support. They would cut the lead in half on a sac fly in the fourth. And in the fifth inning, the Generals really put it on. Only 2 hits in the inning, but hit by pitches, walks, a few errors allowed the Generals to take the lead. Now, some of those RBIs were absolutely earned. Take a look at that. Elbow pad still doesn't feel good. Good plate discipline and base running awareness key in that inning to give them a 5-2 lead. Now in the 8th inning, the River Monsters would score 3 to tie the game at 6 apiece. But in the bottom of the 8th, the Generals with 2 big clutch runs to go up 8-6. That would be your final score. The AL West race promises to come down to the wire this season, but the Texas Rangers just got done going through their toughest part of their schedule so far this year. Texas got thrashed the last couple of days, and in the first inning, bases loaded, a grand slam. for the Dodgers. It's 4-0 LA. But the Rangers in their half of the first inning, 2-run double is going to cut the lead in half, and they are right back in it. Now in the second inning, Texas stays hot, scores 2 in the second. They take the lead, and we're going to win 8-4. So the grand slam, the only blemish. What a way to bounce back for the Texas Rangers. Now, the focus shifts over to the Houston Astros, trying to keep pace in the 7th inning. Bases loaded. Corey Julks takes a very close ball 4 to tie the game. And in the 9th, Mauricio Dubon broke a 2-2 tie in the 9th with a 2-out solo homer to give the Astros a 3-2 lead. That would be your final score. Next up, Astros, Rangers, can't wait. Cooperstown is home to the greatest to ever play the game of baseball, and today you can add 2 more legends to that list, Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland. Fred McGriff played for 7 different teams from 1986 through 2004. He collected almost 2,500 hits, 493 homers with a career batting average of .284. Also won a World Series in 1995. Scott Rowland played from 1996 through 2012. Many Astros fans might remember Scott Rowland on those Cardinals teams from 02 through 07. Those Cardinals teams got in the way of some really good Houston squads. Today, the final round of the Open Championship, and we've got a winner, and that is Brian Harmon taking home the Claret Jug. Tied for second were Sepp Straka, Jason Day, and John Rahm. Rory McIlroy, a.k.a. the biggest live hater, finished 6th. And Adam, it was bark in the park at Riverside, wasn't it?
It was, Zach. So that's actually what we'll end the show with. Zach got some great footage. He mentioned earlier it was free, and luckily the rain held off, so it looked like it was a lot of fun. Stay with us. We'll be right back with lots of cute videos of all those dogs. So the dogs were out at the Generals games tonight. So like Zach said, anyone that brought a dog got in free. So that right there is VPD's canine dog. I think his name is Lark. And he also did a sniff test to entertain the crowd and show off his skills. And then look at that. So it's also a costume contest. Then we got some cute Hawaiian shirts. And all this just to bring the community together.
There was another one. It was dressed. It was supposed to look like a dress, but it wore like a loofah, I want to say it was. Are we going to see it? We're going to see it? There it is. Look. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a dress or a skirt, but I think that's like a shower loofah.
Oh, yeah, because it's got the little rubber duck.
It's got a little rubber duck at the top. I just noticed that.
Cute.
That's cute.
Is that Chihuahua?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, my God.
It was sweet, though.
Where's Norman?
Oh, he was scared. I had him behind the camera.
So Zach's dog was there as well, everyone, but I guess he was a little timid, but he was there.
I had to carry him through the gate. He was trying to hold on to the side.
Did you want to go in?
No, he did not. But he was fine after I forced him through. You know.
So he's got one Generals game under his belt. Maybe he'll go to the next one.
Maybe, yeah.
That was very cute. But I guess, so the rain held off for that game tonight, huh?
Did you get rain out there?
No.
A little bit. Nothing? Yeah, it's been sporadic. Earlier, though, yeah, we got hit pretty hard. Look what it did to our temperatures on the coast. You're seeing some temperatures close to 100. The further west you went is where the high actually disappeared from. So, yeah, we actually had more weather as the weather ran into it, kind of chilled things out in terms of rain. So this evening with the 80s, overnight dropping down to 78. Looking ahead to tomorrow, back up to close to 100. Heat indices of 106, a little cooler, but hey, we should rebound temperature-wise through much of the week. Here is what we got. Triple digits for the heat indices, and then, yeah, right around 100 for our ambient temperatures.
All right. Well, thanks, Zach. Thanks, Howie. And thank y'all, and have a great week.